Hi, and welcome to my organic kitchen once more. Welcome to my organic kitchen once more. I I really hope that these classes are helping you to have an easier time in the time that we live in at the moment. So we're going to be making hot cross buns today, and I was expecting a massive crowd, and so far I'm not seeing too many people around here. So will I wait for more people to show up? I might just share something personal with you. I had a little meltdown yesterday. I think that we've been at home now for 4 weeks, and it's looking that we're going to have another month or more to be. And, it's all can be all a bit too much for all of us. So from here, if you feel bad, if you need anything, I'll be more than happy to share, all the personal stuff. We are on the same boat, and we all need to get together, and we all need to get over this. So, okay, we're ready to start. The video, I'll upload the video later on in my YouTube channel. Unfortunately, we've got my daughter's music in the background, and my husband is in a Zoom meeting. So I apologize, but we're all at home, and this is the way it is. So let's get started. So it is a tough time, isn't it? Yeah. All right. So what we need for the hot cross buns. I sent a list of the ingredients yesterday, and I really hope that you guys are ready. I had a couple of questions, both in Facebook and in Instagram. One of my Instagram's followers asked me yesterday whether these hot cross buns can be made dairy-free. I imagine there's no reason why not, because the reality is you need some liquid that is warm, so we can activate the yeast with that. And I'm pretty sure you can find a substitute for the butter. So I don't see why not. So please go ahead and try. It will be really nice to hear how you went if you try to do it. And then I know there's a shortage of yeast. I don't know why. Maybe we are all baking at the same time, and that's why. I normally buy mine in bulk. Here in the US, I'm pretty sure in Australia as well. I get it from Costco, and there's a big packet. And what I learned from a friend of mine is that you keep it in the freezer. So I do have this tiny little small jar. What I do is I refill my jar as I need it. But what I've done this morning is I have put the jar on the kitchen bench to make it to go to room temperature, because what happens is if you use the yeast when it's straight from the freezer or straight from the fridge, it's going to react, and it's going to create it's like going to go tough. It's going to hide. So you're going to have to really mix it really well. And I had a problem similar to this last year in one of my cooking classes, and the recipe didn't turn out as good as it should have. So that's one thing. And those of you who've got the active yeast, which means you don't need to activate it. It goes straight. So normally that one, you can just mix it directly with your dry ingredients. And for this particular recipe that we're doing today, if you're using sachets, which are about 7 grams each, you will need 2. All right. So we need a whole up of 4 teaspoons of yeast. You will need two of these sachets. And if you're using fresh, the little cubes, normally they weigh about 20 grams. I'm not sure how much that will be in ounces or in pounds. You will need 2 of those too. Okay, so there we go. So what do we need? We're going to assess a lemon. We need some milk, which I have put so it will go to room temperature. And we're going to warm it up. So this is the first thing I'm going to do. I'm going to put the heat. I've got a cup of milk, a cup of 250 ml here. And to this, We're going to add 5 tablespoons of butter, or 70 grams, and we're going to melt it. And then we're going to activate the yeast. So while this is warming up, we don't want it to boil. We just want it to go to a warmish temperature, what we call lukewarm. Imagine you will have to, if you went to have a bath with that. So, you know, you won't burn, but I'm sorry. Oh, I lost my connection in Instagram. Too many people. Sorry, I lost my connection in Instagram because my husband has got a Zoom meeting and our internet can't just cope with everything. So I apologize. Anyway, if you lose the connection, I will put the video in YouTube so you can go later and watch it and you don't miss out. So going back, I said we were going to have the milk just lukewarm, okay? And I'm doing that to sort of start multitasking in the kitchen. That's what you want to do to make it faster. So I've got 500 grams of flour that I have weighed today. And this is 1.1 pounds. And in cups, I always use metrics where 1 cup is 8 ounces or 250 mils. You will need 3 and a third. 3 and a third cups of flour, if you're going to measure it that way. But 500 grams of flour. Now, we need 2 teaspoons of salt. However, I am not adding salt because I'm using salted butter. I'm using salted butter. This has got enough salt for me for the recipe. But if you are using unsalted butter, please put some salt in here. And then we need 1/3 of a cup of sugar, or 45 grams. Of course, I forgot to get the cup. I thought I was fully prepared today, but I haven't. So this is 1/3 of a cup. It will be about 45 grams. So we're going to add the sugar and we're going to mix it. I'm just going to make sure that you guys can see what I'm doing. And I'm going to check that milk because I think it'll be... So if you're not using unsalted butter like me, you will add the salt here. All right, so this is done. And let's check this milk. I don't want to burn myself, but my hands are really clean and I have, so I'm checking the milk. Yeah, that's perfect. Okay, so we can turn it off and we're going to add the butter to this. I might see if you guys can see me a bit better. I know Instagrammers can see me perfectly, so I'm hoping that one day I can stream both. I don't know whether you see me better like this. No, same thing. So we need 70 grams of butter, which is 5 tablespoons. Here in the US, you've got it written. So 1 stick, it's 1/2 cup, which is 113 grams, just about 44 ounces. And it's all up 8 tablespoons. So we need 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to cut it there, and then I'm going to cut it in pieces and put it in the milk so it will start melting. So we're going to melt this butter here. I hope everybody is following me well. Thank you so much for being there. I'm a little bit disappointed because I expected, you know, a lot of people. I expected a lot of expat Australians to be here today. Maybe everybody's busy working. I'm going to use this smaller one. So I'm just mixing the butter with, we're going to melt it. Once the butter is completely melted to the milk, we're going to add the yeast and we're going to let it sit. And in the meantime, we're going to add all the spices to the flour. And then we're going to get the lemon zest. What I like about when I teach you is that all the little tricks that I've learned along the way. Okay, this is really well mixed. We can use this for later. And now we're gonna add 4 teaspoons of yeast, dry yeast, or you put 2 sachets. That was 2, so you can see me better. I'm dreaming the day that I'll have, you know, a proper kitchen that I can give you my classes. And you can see everything, you know, 2, 3 cameras. You can only dream, can't you? I hope that you're using this time to work on any project that you had hidden or left behind. I'm actually enjoying these classes so much that I think that if I wasn't doing this, I would be pretty upset and pretty sad as well. So, okay, this is really, really well dissolved. That's what you want. We're gonna let it sit, okay? We're gonna let it sit. And we're gonna add the spices now to the flour. So we need 1.5 teaspoons of cinnamon. I love cinnamon. A lot of people don't, but I do. So we need 1.5. I hope my husband is not speaking about something really important about his company, because everything is supposed to be really secrecy. So if you hear something, please don't tell anybody. He can hear me because he's wearing earphones. But so I put 1.5 teaspoons of nutmeg, and now we've got some cloves, ground cloves. Now, because this is so strong, it only asks for 1/2 teaspoon. Okay. These are the main spices for the hot cross buns. So we're gonna add this to the dry ingredients, and we get in there. Okay. Now let's get the lemon zest as well. Did you see I've got my Easter spatula ready today? As I said to you the other day, if you watch my video, always make sure that you brush any citrus that you're going to use the peel really well in the water, because even for the organic, which is the only one that I buy, they put a special wax outside that is not good for us. So we need to scrub it out really well. So bear with me. I thought I was fully prepared, but I wasn't. So I'm just scrubbing the lemon here. You can just hear the water. I hope you've been checking my stories, and I've been putting some Easter activities. So I was thinking today I'm going to challenge you. I'm going to challenge you and all the members of your household. Hopefully you're not on your own. And if you're on your own, do it with friends, cybernetically, you know. So the idea that came to my mind this morning was that you put your names in a bowl or in a basket or in a jar, and close. Each member of your family, of your household, takes a name, and you keep it. So you will only know who you've been assigned to, and then sit down around the table and create an afternoon craft and make a card. One of the Easter cards I've given to ideas in my stories. Hopefully you can see them again. If you don't, let me know. Okay, we've got the lemon and we want to get the peel out of it. Whether you are juicing or peeling, always roll it out because it will be so much easier to work with. Definitely you'll get a lot more juice. And I also thank you for telling me to keep going. I love it. You will get a lot more peel. So let's go. We're going to put it straight. Now, I don't know if you watched last week, but the best way to get the zest of a lemon or an orange is to do it. Most people do like this, right? Well, we're going to do it the other way around. So this is the way you hold your, this is the way you will hold your gadget. I don't remember how it's called now. It's just because we live and that happens. Maybe you can help me to remember. The grater, that's it, your grater. And what's happening, do you see what's happening? All the zest is coming here. And we need the zest of a whole lemon, okay? It is zesting so much easier. You can either do like this. I sort of like holding it like this. Remember, don't zest too much into the white part because the white part, it's bitter. You only want the yellow part in this case. I can hear my neighbors playing in the outside. This is such a challenging time for all of us, isn't it? Who was going to say, you know, that we were going to have to be home? I mean, I work from home and spend a lot of time at home, but I am always on my own. And my husband said something yesterday that he was totally right. He said, I know what's wrong with you. You're not used to have us around all day. You know, you've got your routine, your things that you do when you're on your own at home. And he was probably right. Now, I advise you to put this straight in the fridge so it won't go off. And if you need to make, if you need to use the juice of the lemon, make sure you use it the first one. Did you find that helpful? I hope so. So I'm trying to share all my little tricks and tips with you. Okay, so we've got the lemon zest. I've got my little note so I don't forget any steps and I don't forget anything. Okay, so we've got the sugar, the flour, we've got the lemon zest, and we've got all the spices. And in here we've got the milk with the yeast, and we only need to do the egg. So for those of you who haven't seen it before or don't know, the best way to break an egg is to do it on a flat surface. So everybody's working from home. So what you have to do is just to wait to hear the change in noise. So I haven't broken, I have cracked it. Only just crack it. And now you do it with your hands. What you don't want to do is to break your eggshell too fast. If you do, the membrane that keeps it together is going to break too fast. And if there's any bacteria by any reason, the bacteria will go into your egg. You don't want to do that. You want to avoid it. The best way to do it is doing it the way I told you. And if there's any little bit of shell that goes in your egg, well, no worries. Use the other part to catch it. And it will come all of it. I'm having so many troubles with Instagram that is not even funny. I'm not enjoying that anymore. So sorry, Instagrammers, but Instagram is not working today at all. We're just beating the egg a little bit. This is what happens when you stream live. Hello, thank you for being back. I'm sorry, it's all working. If you have Facebook, Facebook is not giving me any problems. And I am in both. I am in Instagram and in Facebook. So, because I'm just seeing people coming and saying, oh, I thought you were in Instagram, when I am in both. So I can have everybody at the same time, and I just made a mess. Okay, so I'm going to make a well in the center. Yeah. And I'm going to put the egg. I normally work a little bit cleaner than this, but I got quite dirty. I'm just going to clean this because it's egg and I don't want it to go everywhere. Bear with me for a moment. Okay. I always like cleaning egg with a tea towel, with a paper towel, because I can throw it away, you know, a lot of salmonella and things like that. And I'm going to give a quick clean to my hands. So welcome back, everybody. I am having a few issues in Instagram with the live streaming, and it has cut off twice, but so far Facebook is doing well. So thank you for being here. I really appreciate it, and I hope you enjoy. Don't forget to use hand sanitizer. I always use JK Naturals, which is made by my beautiful friend Catherine here in California, and it is all natural, and it's got such a beautiful story that, you know, I encourage you to go to her website and check it out. Okay, so we're going to put the milk and we're going to start kneading now. So we're going to mix with a wooden spoon, and we're going to do like figure eights. Always do that. Do like figure eights to sort of bring it together. Sort of bring it together. I can really smell it. Now, I'm not going to add any dry fruit, but you wouldn't be adding the dry fruit now anyway. I'm just telling you because we don't like it in my house. We like fruitless hot cross buns. Now I'm going to give you a little story about the hot cross buns. Those of you who are new, I had, again, it cut off in Instagram. So I'm going to give you a little story about the hot cross buns. So the origins of the hot cross buns, it's believed to go back to the 12th century. And according to a story, an Anglican monk baked buns, like these sort of sweet buns, and he made a cross to mark in honor of Good Friday. So it's a little story about the hot cross buns for you and where the cross comes from. All right, well, I think this is asking for me to start kneading with my hands. Now you can do these using your stand mixer with the hook attachment, and it will work the same. But I always like showing you how to do it by hand, so you know. And we don't have excuse that we don't have time to do this now, okay? So thank you for continuing there. I know that Instagram is giving me a lot of troubles today, so I really appreciate those Instagrammers who keep coming. They keep coming. So I really appreciate it. Now this dough doesn't need to be kneaded too much, a couple of minutes. So I'm gonna get it on my surface and I'm just gonna scrape a little bit. I always like doing it in a bowl because it's less messy. I find that it stayed all there. Even when I make pasta, I also do that. Okay, but I need this bowl anyway. This is not hot anymore. Okay, let's get a few things out of the way. Okay. So, I don't know if you've been here before, but the best way to knead is to fold towards you and then you push. You turn around your dough, you fold and then you push, turn around, you fold and you push, you turn around, you fold and you push, turn around and fold and push. This is the easiest way to do it. Now, this needs a total of about maximum 5 minutes kneading. And if you're gonna put dry fruit, the moment to put the dry fruit will be now. Because you don't want the fruit to break when you're kneading. You want it just to go together, okay? So if you went to put the fruit, you will start putting the fruit. So I will put the fruit here and it's sort of when you go along, it will catch it, right? Don't do it from the beginning because you are having the, it can break. And unless that you like it that way. The reason at my house we don't like the dry fruit in cakes is once it's cooked and it gets moist, we don't enjoy that texture. None of the three of us. I love cranberries, but dry. And cranberries and cheese is what I have as a snack when I feel hungry. Because I love both things and I think it's a great combination. Okay, I don't think I have forgotten anything. So to this, you will add just about 100 grams of dry sultanas or raisins, and then you can add also a few cranberries or chocolate chip cookies, chocolate chips, you know, and you make chocolate chips hot cross buns, which you know, they can be really nice, and then you can make a ganache to do the cross instead of using the typical. But I'm making the traditional ones. Now, when you finish kneading, what you want to do, I'm happy with the way it looks. So remember, you fold, you push, you fold, you push, you fold, you push. But bear in mind that I've been doing this. I've been making those for years. Now, you can do this with your stand mixer and you don't have to do all the work, but it's quite therapeutic. Now, what we want to do always, we want to be very gentle and we want to make sure the air stays inside. Okay, so we're going to put this here, back in our bowl. We're going to cover it with a clean tea towel. And we're going to let it rest for an hour. But I'm not going to have you waiting for an hour. Of course, I've got another dough here that I made this morning. So this will be, I'm going to be baking all day. Oh dear. Okay, look at this. This one, I made it this morning. Is this alive or what? Now, if you want to practice with me now, doing the if you want to practice with me now doing the hot cross buns, just get a little piece of the one you just made and just follow the prompts of what I'm doing. So what we want to do with this is we're just gonna put it here and we're gonna get little pieces. Okay. So what you want to do is always with the flour, let's get just a tiny little bit, not a big deal. Always when you are kneading, don't overdo it with the flour. Just put a little bit on the back of your hands and we're gonna think that it's gonna get bigger. So I'll say about a dinner roll. This is a good size. Do we say, I don't know what sort of. So what you want to do is you're gonna flatten this in your hands. You know, everything very gently. When you're working with dough, you don't want the air to go. And this dough has worked beautifully. So we don't want the air to go because we want our hot cross buns to be really nice and soft and delicate. So you're gonna get little pieces and you're gonna pinch them sort of in the middle. It's like you're extending. Yeah, see what I'm doing? You are extending and you are pinching them here and we're putting them, and now we're gonna close them like this. What we're doing with this is we're leaving all the beautiful air inside. See how it's completely closed in here? And now we're going to make all dinner roll. So very gently with your hand, you move it like this, and then always check the bottom and pinch it because we want that to close, okay? And when you're happy that you've got it right, you place it on the tray. Now these are homemade, so they're not gonna look as perfect as the one you buy in a bakery, but I promise you they taste beautiful. So I'm happy with that mine. It's all closed at the bottom. It doesn't have to be absolutely perfect. So always make sure you treat it very gently. And we're gonna place them, I'm gonna put, starting in the middle, and we're gonna put them around. And sort of they have to be close to each other is what I mean, okay? So I'm gonna make a few more so you guys learn how to do it. I don't wanna, I'm actually going to get also my oven at 200 Celsius, 400 Fahrenheit. Sorry, I needed to look at my little piece of paper. I've lost connection with Instagram again, and I won't be surprised if they give up on me. But thank you, Facebookers, for being there. I am so excited. I can see plenty of you and I'm really happy. Okay, let's do one more. So the idea is that you get all this. Okay, and now we close it, right? We make sure we close it completely. Now, another thing that you can do, you can make the dough in the night and let it for a slow rise in the fridge. And then in the morning, before you're going to mold them, get it out just about an hour before to get them at room temperature. And then you can bake them and have them nicely out of the oven. Hot cross buns are traditionally, or the way I've learned that you eat them is that you toast them and then you eat them with butter. And I never know. I lived in Australia for 18 years. I married my husband there, and that's why I've got an Australian daughter. Second one. Okay, we're gonna put it close to each other. They're going to expand, so we're gonna leave a little bit of space, but not too much. Okay, you want them to be sort of really close to each other. I'm gonna make a flower, and then I'm just gonna leave it. So I'm gonna tell you my story. This one looks much bigger. I'm going to tell you my story with hot cross buns. So after I finished my master, I only studied with international students, so I wasn't too connected to the Australian culture, and I was working, keep looking what I'm doing, and I was working at an accounting firm, and I was asked if I could please bring some hot cross buns for morning tea. So I didn't know what morning tea was. And of course, I had never heard of a hot cross buns in my life because I'm Spanish. And so I was really close to one of my colleagues, and I went and I asked him, I said, I've been asked if I can please bring some hot cross buns for morning tea. What's morning tea? And he said, well, we sit down around the table, have a cup of coffee mid-morning, and we eat something. That's morning tea for Australian, which is just a mid-morning snack. And then I said, yeah, but what about hot cross buns? And he said, just go to the shop and you'll see them everywhere. So I went to the shop and I didn't see them because I didn't know what I was looking for. So I did ask, where can I find hot cross bun? And I remember the face of the lady working at the shop. She looked at me, there you have it, lady. And there were tons of them. So there you have it, when you live in a new culture, the things that you learn. Okay, let's keep going. I don't want to bore you, so I'm going to do maybe 2 more and then I'm going to leave it. And we're going to get the, while these are going up, I'm going to show you, we're going to make the cross, and we're going to make also the, we're going to make the cross, and we're going to also make the syrup that goes on top. So one more. So you take all this very gently. So this is the way you make dinner rolls. And I'm going to make 2. I'm going to be a little bit of a show off, and I'm going to do 2 at once. The dough is fantastic. So if you're planning to make them on the weekend, or at my house, we traditionally eat them for breakfast on Friday, Easter Friday, or Good Friday, as we call it in Australia. I always make a fresh batch. Obviously, when we lived in Australia, I never made this. I always bought them. But so you want to close it all together, and I'm going to be a show off, and I'm going to do it with both hands, just because I want to speed it up a little bit, and I don't want to have you here looking at my hands that you might get a bit dizzy. So what's everybody planning to do for Easter? We bought a leg of lamb yesterday. Obviously, it's in the freezer. And we don't know what else we'll do. So definitely, hopefully the weather will be nice and we will be able to have a beautiful Easter Sunday lunch outside. So we have to be thankful that the weather is actually being really nice to us, because by not being too nice, we feel like we don't mind so much staying indoors. All right, so let's go back. See how beautiful it is. I really don't need to put any flour for them not to stick. And then we're gonna do it again. I've got the flour mostly done. And for those of you who joined lately, I'm going to do it like this. So we're doing like a little, small little parcel. They're gonna get a lot bigger, yeah? You can see here how they're looking, how I'm doing them. I learned them from the lovely Jackie, who is my Thermomix consultant in Australia. If you see me, Jackie, I hope you're doing well. You're doing great with your videos too. I'm loving them. When she made bread for me once, she did it that way, so I thought I'll do it. Okay, last time, and then I'll do the rest later. Don't worry, I'm going to be making hot cross buns all day. I made a double batch, and I thought this will be also a way that I can help my community. So I'm going to call a few friends with kids at home, and I'm going to make them, and I'm going to ask them to come and pick them up so they can have them this afternoon for afternoon tea or tomorrow for breakfast. I'm sure my daughter will be delighted. So I thought, I made the beer bread this week for those of you. Oops, sorry. For those of you who've been following me. Okay. And we're running out of. Okay. I'll finish the rest of the dough later because I don't want to bother you. I don't want to bore you. So we're gonna cover this, and in the meantime that the oven is getting Instagram is so. In the meantime that the oven is getting warm, we're going to be getting ready to finish this hot cross bun. So I'm going to put this in the fridge because it has been out for too long and it's a bit warm in the room now. If I can find a spot for it. Here we go. Okay, so we're going to make the piping mixture. We need this only just about 10-15 minutes. So we're gonna make the piping mixture now. So those of you who just joined hot cross buns, we're gonna just let them rest for about 10 minutes. In the meantime, we're going to make the piping mixture because it's the first thing that we need. So for the piping mixture, we need half a cup of flour. So this is 1/4 cup. So half a cup of flour. So I need 2 of these. We need half a cup of water. And I'll probably have enough for the whole lot that I'm making today. It doesn't have to be warm, it can be cold. We just add a teaspoon of olive oil. Yeah, I've already finished using all the dry ingredients, so I don't need, doesn't matter if I wet this one. And a pinch of salt. And we're gonna mix it. Now, if you see that it's too liquidy, add a little bit more of flour. In this case, I will add 1 teaspoon at a time. But I actually fixed this recipe when I did an Easter sweet around the world last year as a cooking class, as part of the classes that I teach here when I live in the school district, and I fixed the recipe. So this is a good, it's runny, but it's not so runny. So what you want is like a pancake sort of consistency is the word that I was looking for. And we're gonna put this in you can use a piping bag or you can use one of these, which everybody has got at home, and then we cut a little tip from there. Oh, this is going, I'm just gonna grab sorry, I'm gonna this is a little trick for you. Much easier. See, you put it in a glass, and now it's so easy to pour it. We're gonna put it in the back, and we're gonna put the water of the syrup. The oven is not on yet, so I didn't hear the oven going on. Did you hear the oven going on? I'm not sure if my oven is on, but I have lost again connection with no, it's still preheating, so we can. It's quite cold. So see how easy that was. I always leave it in the glass until I finish, and then we're gonna close it really tightly, really well. Okay, now we're gonna prepare we're gonna do this syrup. The syrup is always equal amount of sugar than water. So in this case, the recipe asks for 2 tablespoons of water, 2 tablespoons of sugar. Because I'm making a double batch, I'm going to make more. So I'm gonna make actually 1/4 cup, just because I'm making a double batch. But when you wanna make syrup, always equal amount of water than sugar, and you just put it on a gentle simmer until it completely dissolves. That's all you have to do. Make sure it dissolves completely. So we're gonna put it really low. I'm gonna put it medium, and when it starts, I'm going to put it medium, and when it starts sort of boiling, we're going to turn it down a little bit more, and I'm going to rinse the little whisk that I use for the yeast. So all I'm doing is just whisking to make sure that it's well combined. Okay, my oven is on, so I'm going to show you how to do the piping. They haven't risen completely, but it doesn't matter, they will do. You can see the all the spices, and when they cook together, and that's what makes them so nice and soft. And that's what you want when you're making dinner rolls, to put them together like that, leaving a little bit of space, but just enough. Okay, so we're gonna bring this, we're gonna make a little cut, just a very small one, so we don't want the cross to be, and very gently we're going to do the crosses, very gently. We do the crosses very gently. Okay, and this is why it's called hot cross buns, and it is and it's the tradition, I think. I'm going to turn this down because it's starting to boil. Let's keep going. Can you see what is happening? So it's still a bit runny, but it's not too bad. Now, if you want to make them with, if you want to make them, and then I place it back in the glass with the cut at the top. And I have lost again. Instagram is working really bad today, or we're streaming too many people. Okay, so we're gonna put this in the oven, and they're going to be ready in 15 minutes. Well, I always tell my husband off, and I made a mistake today. I forgot to get my pan off the oven. But that's good for it anyway. If you've got a cast iron, it's great. Let's do 15 minutes. So we've got the syrup is pretty much done. We wanted to, and what I want to do I'm just going to tell you a few things, and then I'm going to show you later on, so you don't have to be here for another 15 minutes talking to me, what you can do when your hot cross buns get out of the oven. So I'm going to remind you that next Tuesday we're going to be making fish tacos. Next Tuesday we're going to be making fish tacos. This Tuesday I made simple guacamole and pico de gallo, which we need for Tuesday. So you will need any white fish that you may find, tilapia. I like using catfish, anyone that you like. I'll put the ingredients because we're going to do a really nice marinade, and you need to buy masa flour, the ones that you use to make the corn tortillas. We're going to make them by hand, and that's going to be so nice. So I really hope that you can join me then, and you'll have a beautiful lunch for dinner. It will be lunch for my family. So let's just go through what we've done today. So we had, I'm just going to check how our dough is going. This is the one we've made together. And as you can see, it's already going up, but it's not ready yet. It still needs, I didn't time it, but I'm pretty sure it'll be ready at about, it always has to rest for about an hour to an hour and a half. But I made another dough before, so you wouldn't have to wait, or go back and forth, because this is live. It's the best way that I could do it. The ingredients are in a post that I put yesterday, so you can find them there. So we've mixed everything. Once your dough has rested or proven for about 1 hour to 1 hour and a half, the one that I made this morning that I weighed in the stand mixer came out really well, and I proofed it just over an hour, not much more than that, and it was perfect. So we've made the dinner rolls. Remember, I might do one more so you can see again how we did it. I might just do one more. I'll do one more. For those of you who are, oh my God, Instagram is terrible today. I had so many people following me the other day, and I know everybody's probably giving up. So thank you for being in Facebook there. Yay! So I'm doing a new one in case that you guys have left or joined in the last minute. Now don't worry, I'm going to upload this video in YouTube, where you can follow me as well. If you subscribe, you will receive all the videos that I put. I've got a lot of videos that I don't do live. This is all because of the situation that we are all living in. And as I said yesterday, as long as we are at home, sheltered in place, as they say here in the US, or at least here in California where I am, I'll be here every week. The only thing is that as of next week will be the last week that I'll be doing, because we'll be finishing the Easter series, and then I will be starting doing videos in Spanish as well, because I have my Spanish community. I have left them quite a bit, and I feel really bad actually for doing that. Okay, so this is what you want. This sort. I didn't put fruit in. Remember, you have to add the fruit if you want them, because they actually have fruit in them. I haven't made them with fruit because at my house we don't like them with the fruit inside. We like them fruitless. I encourage you to make them with chocolate chips. You will do the same. You will mix the chocolate chips when you're kneading, not before. And instead of making the cross with the mixture of the flour, the water, and the olive oil, I will make a chocolate ganache and just put it on top. Or you could even do, half flour, half chocolate, something like that. But I think it will work really well. So we have put the hot cross buns in the oven. They are baking. They still got another 10 minutes to go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave it here so you don't have to wait 9 minutes. And what can I tell you in 9 minutes? I don't have much to say other than I hope that you have enjoyed, that you have learned. Any questions? Send me a message. Contact me through my website, carmensorganickitchen.com. I'm really contactable. Send me an email. I'll be very, very, very happy to help you, to support you, to answer any questions. As I said before, I will upload the video later in YouTube so you can see, and I will put a final photograph of the hot cross buns. What you have to do as soon as you get them out of the oven and you see that they're cooked, they really don't need more than 15, maximum 20 minutes. All ovens are different, so always bear that in mind. You're going to get the syrup that we've made, and you're going to brush it, and that's what's going to make them be so shiny. They're going to get really sticky with the but I might just record. I'm going to record a small video when I'm doing that, and I'm going to put it in social media today or in my stories so you can see how they all finish. So thank you so much for being here. Let me know what else can I do to help you during this time. What recipes would you like to do? I'm going to have an extra class next week on Wednesday, because being Easter here in the Bay Area, the children are on school holidays or school break. I found these Easter truffles recipe the other day, and I thought, you could get the kids and we can all make truffles together if you like. And you can make little baskets. So this could be your Easter gift or present, together with the card that I told you that I challenge you to do it for your loved ones or the people that are living with you at home, or maybe for your neighbor, and you just leave the bag in the door. Okay, so I'm gonna go now. I've been here almost an hour, which is a lot. So thank you if you have stayed here for the. I never like being so long here because I think it's too much. But thank you so much again. And I'll see you Tuesday. We're going to make fish tacos that I promise you're going to love. And also, I invite the plant-based people, the people that are on a plant-based diet, because the marinade that we're going to do in the fish, it can be used for tofu. And then you can have a plant-based taco as well. So you won't miss out. So, okay, let's leave it. Have a wonderful weekend. Stay safe. Stay at home. Take care and eat well and be happy. Thank you so much.